A.Q. Khan, the father of Pakistan's nuclear weapons program and the man responsible for leaking sensitive nuclear information to states trying to develop nuclear weapons programs. He created an illicit and secretive global network and is responsible for aiding Libya, North Korea, Iran, and potentially India in achieving this goal. It is now easier than ever before to access once secretive nuclear information. Khan has proven that the science behind nuclear bombs is no longer difficult to access. In a world where technology is spreading faster than ever before, the threat of proliferation becomes increasingly terrifying. The knowledge of the bomb's technicalities can no longer be contained.
It is now not that costly for states to potentially develop nuclear weapons, right? And that has changed how we think about nuclear proliferation. It used to be hard for states to acquire nuclear weapons. And now the designs are out there, the technologies are out there on the open commercial market, and regulating that has proven to be very difficult. One argument is that in diplomacy, states that have nuclear weapons tend to be more confident and forceful in achieving their objectives.
They're a source of national pride, of demonstration of your technical competence, that you feel that you're not a full-fledged member of the international elite unless you have nuclear weapons.
The balance of power has inevitably been shifted with these weapons. What does this mean for the future? Can we rediscover a peaceful coexistence without the threat of a nuclear catastrophe?
Technology exists, but the politics in managing that technology are really important. And you can't uninvent the nuclear fission reaction and what states have done to weaponize it. But I do agree to the extent that politics is the harder of the two, right? Technology advances. That's what science is supposed to do. It's how we manage and how we think about technological advances and our notions of progress that are harder and more challenging to deal with.
I think that you can try to control technology through politics, but you can't wish it away. And when you have very destructive technologies, the temptation to use them is always going to be there. So you can try to regulate the use, but sometimes it's very difficult. I don't see the nuclear world as strong an effect on diplomacy as it was during the Cold War.
The evolution of the nuclear era was really the U.S. and the Soviet Union trying to figure out a stable deterrence relationship, and they overshot. And I think smaller nuclear weapons powers have learned a lot from the superpower experience. So you don't see China, India, Pakistan developing thousands and thousands of nuclear weapons. The Cold War experience suggests that you can establish stable deterrent relationships with much fewer nuclear weapons, and you don't need these massive architectures. So politics does take time to catch up, but I think ultimately, there's a learning process.
So now I think what we're afraid of is newer states like Iran or North Korea who might not have gone through the same learning process as the two superpowers did.
Is this learning process universal, or must new states on the nuclear scene go through their own trials and errors? It is clear that the nuclear states of today have established a firm equilibrium with the mutual understanding of non-use. Now the question is how up-and-coming states play into this equilibrium. In his book, Technology, Leo Marx claims that technology is a primary force shaping the future. In the case of nuclear proliferation, this future is still being shaped. Only time will tell if countries such as North Korea and Iran will find a peaceful place alongside the previously established nuclear superpowers. History suggests this outcome, but the destructive capabilities of nuclear weapons raise the stakes.